been hit by, you've been struck by a smooth criminal.
Whoa, breaking news, a very hot topic from Donald Trump. It's not only igniting conversations across the country, but also highlighting the alarming state of our democracy. Former President Donald Trump has recently claimed that he has a right to interfere in the presidential election, all while he faces serious legal challenges. In a recent interview with Fox News, Trump made some astonishingly bold statements. He asserted that he had every right to interfere with the presidential election and noted, "It's so crazy that my poll numbers go up." You heard that right. The former president appears to be suggesting that being indicted or election interference has boosted his popularity. And so this raises some serious questions about the moral compass of a significant portion of our electorate. How can we justify a system where criminal behavior is not only overlooked, but it's seemingly rewarded? So let's unpack this assertion. Trump is currently facing an updated indictment from the special counsel Jack Smith, who's investigating Trump's alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 election results. The new indictment, filed last week, has streamlined some of these allegations against him, likely in response to a controversial Supreme Court ruling on immunity. However, despite these adjustments, none of the charges against Trump have been dismissed. So let's consider the implications of Trump's claim that he has the right to meddle in the electoral process. He's attempting to redefine the boundaries of acceptable political behavior. And what does that say about our democracy when a leading candidate for the presidency can openly flaunt legal boundaries while simultaneously gaining public support? This is not just a troubling trend that we've seen with Trump. It's a direct threat to the integrity of our democratic institutions. The normalization of this kind of behavior could lead to a future where any politician feels empowered to act above the law. So in the same interview, Trump took a moment to criticize Vice President Kamala Harris while describing her treatment of former Vice President Mike Pence as horrible. For context, Pence has been openly critical of Trump following the January 6th Capitol insurrection, and during which he was also targeted by a mob of pro-Trump supporters. This insurrection was not just a pivotal moment in American history. It was an attempted coup that should have shocked every American to their core. It's really interesting to note that Trump continues to assert that Pence had the power to halt the certification of the election results. This is a significant point of contention, as many legal experts and historians have pointed out that Pence's role in this process was largely ceremonial. Even so, Trump's narrative seems to resonate with his base, and that further complicates the political discourse surrounding all these events. By framing Pence as someone who could have taken different actions, Trump is appealing to a sense of grievance among his supporters, many of whom feel disillusioned by the political establishment. This manipulation of facts is just not irresponsible, it's dangerous. Trump also referenced the contentious exchange between Harris and Pence during the 2020 vice presidential debate, where Harris famously said,
"Mr. Vice President, I'm speaking. I'm speaking."
Yeah, that's it. When Pence interrupted her, this moment has become a hallmark of the 2020 campaign, symbolizing the broader struggle for women's voices in public. Trump's comments about Harris seem to reflect a broader strategy of undermining her credibility and authority. By labeling her as vicious, he taps into a stereotype that often surfaces in discussions about women in leadership roles. This approach not only seeks to diminish Harris's standing, but it also attempts to reposition Trump as a defender of traditional norms in political discourse. It's a classic tactic of shifting blame onto women who assert themselves, and it continues to perpetuate a narrative that seeks to silence and discredit them. As we prepare for the upcoming debates, including the one between Trump and Harris next week, it's crucial to consider how these narratives will play out. Will Trump's legal challenges overshadow the debates, or will his supporters rally around him, viewing these indictments as politically motivated attacks? We must all remain vigilant. The dynamics of this debate could significantly influence public perception leading into the 2024 election. Additionally, we should reflect on the implications of Trump's statements about election interference. If he's allowed to claim a right to interfere without accountability, what precedent does that set for future elections? This raises serious concerns about the integrity of the electoral process. Allowing Trump to continue this narrative not only undermines our democracy, but also emboldens those who seek to manipulate the system for their gain. I want to hear from you. How do you feel about Trump's claims regarding election interference? Do you believe he has the right to challenge the electoral process? What do you think about the comments on Kamala Harris and Mike Pence? Feel free to call in or send us your thoughts on our socials. Your opinion matters. As we continue to witness the unfolding drama in American politics, one thing is clear: the lines are blurred and the stakes are high. Whether you're a supporter or a critic, these issues will affect all of us. And we must stand united against the normalization of criminal behavior in our political leaders and demand accountability. So just real quick, a couple things before we go. So this show is brand new and I'm trying to kind of get in my groove here. We're going to try different things. We're trying our best to get these cameras set up in here. I think we're almost there, but we aren't quite ready yet. We seem to be running into issues. So we're doing our best as we talk about things. If you are watching us on YouTube, we're constantly just trying to get the content on the screen as we talk about it. But thank you for kind of bearing with us as we get situated here with this new experiment we're doing. Just one more thing. I want to mention this guy. His name is Keith Edwards. He's a political commentator on YouTube. And I'm telling you, hands down, one of the best on YouTube. I, at this point, listen to very few political shows anywhere, really, because they're all kind of the same. They're just noise, and they make me angry. But Keith is very different. He delivers his content in a way that's easy to follow, and he just has this sense about him where he just keeps you calm, and he's releasing content all throughout the day as these things are happening. So you're always up to date on the latest news during this election cycle. He is just an amazing guy, and I hope you go find him. I'm sure he's everywhere. He's got to be on like all the podcast services and socials. I just happen to watch him on YouTube. His name is Keith Edwards, so please go check him out. You will not be sorry, I promise. I'm Josh Fourrier, and until next time, keep questioning, keep discussing, and stay engaged in the political process.